It's the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Houston Oilers.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Houston Oilers and the Las Vegas Raiders. 3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Tua to throw right away. And his first look is incomplete. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught there by Wallace. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Under pressure, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And that is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And that will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And normally in this spot we talk about passing numbers from last week, but this time it's all about the rushing. 3 times he found the end zone in his last ball game. He is a do-everything quarterback, and you have to expect we'll see him call his own number here as well.
Now Baker on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Oilers are on the board first here in Vegas. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. First to a hit, and the ball is out. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy.
And a loose football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They take over already inside the red zone thanks to a great return there after the fumble. 1st and 10. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before his... So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
That's pulled in at the 32. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Buying time to his left. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And the tough thing is when he goes back and reviews the film, he'll see that he already escaped the pocket. He could have gotten more himself by using his legs, and that might have been the better choice there instead of challenging the zone. A miscalculation on his part, and he pays for it with the interception.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And he hits the tight end. It's Davis. He'll get it inside the 20, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week.
That he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
So that challenge, a successful one. Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Jacobs will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So already not the best to kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Baker escaping the pressure right. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Oilers have taken the lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So out come the Raiders. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Throwing again on second down. Tua over the middle, complete. That's Davis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here we go. Black, 95.
And again, it's Tagovailoa. It's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the defense. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Following the fumble recovery, Baker. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Looking to throw. Baker. And his throw here's incomplete.
We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Here's Baker on 1st and 10. And the Raiders have got him. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks it's cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean are also just to a hit, and the ball is out. And this will be scooped up by the defense. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Extra point forthcoming. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there.
Davis fighting. He loses the football. It's going the other way. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
So really a nightmare of a first half for him, Charles. His 2nd lost fumble already.
And when they hand us a stat sheet, Brandon, and we see 2 lost fumbles, we usually think quarterback or running back, don't we? It's not often you see guys on the perimeter lose the ball like that.
To throw is Baker. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's got it to Williams. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 24 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Baker now. From the gun, he'll throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here? And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Oilers take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long. And this time, that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep,
and deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
After the sack on first down, Tua. He's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. He finds his man complete. That's Vargas. So nothing doing there, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And that is caught. It's Davis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Here's Jacobs on first and 10.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
On second and 11 now.
Tua.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wallace. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
Now Tua.
Touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit. Now, this has been a one-sided first half to this point, no doubt, but at least signs of life here. They're on the board.
Yeah, and I think if they went to the halftime down big with 0 points on the board, it'd be a struggle to see them come out in the second half and play well. So very important, vital here. And if they make a huge comeback, we'll look back at this moment and point to the start of it.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
And now out comes Houston.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston.
Justin Jefferson
That's career touchdown number 131, and it ties him with Chris Carter for number 8 on the all-time list. And the Oilers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point right down the middle, and a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Raiders offense ready to go. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace.
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Baker. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right, because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Back to throw. Baker. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Oilers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency. Because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the route is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment.
He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
He's able to find Wallace. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He finds his man, complete. That's Vargas. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Looking to pass. Tua. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Williams brings it in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. As the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain of 12 yards that time.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
And maybe a small measure of revenge for this defense because they have been thoroughly dominated so far, but a brief bright spot there with that pick six.
Seemingly coming up for air after being dominated as you described. They get a nice play there. Probably not going to change the balance of this game, but they have to feel a little bit better about themselves after that one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
And this pass broken up. But the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
2 now on 1st down.
That's brought in by Davis over the middle.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Ready, go, set, cut.
Tua going to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Baker. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain. After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Baker. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season. He had 3 of those sacks last week en route to being the AFC Defensive Player of the Week 1 right there. How do you block him now?
That's the question you think that they'd be able to answer. After having 3 the week before, you would make all the necessary adjustments in practice, but he's such an imposing force, he knows how to get to the quarterback anyway.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and now we've got a 3rd and 4. Off of play action, Tagovailoa trying to lay one up deep. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Baker off the play fake. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So they bring out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught right side. Davis.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Tua finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Tua to throw again. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. The 40. 20. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, partner, this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Tua.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Vargas. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. Tua sets up to pass it. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. But this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
23 yards, the final tally.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Here's Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Jacobs again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. Third and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it third and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown.
Here we go. 52 blue.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Touchdown Raiders. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders get a bit closer.
Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. Well, fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. 22 yards there, a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that group.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this being inside 2 minutes of play. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is.
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play.
Touchdown!
Justin Jefferson.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Oilers are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead.
Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raiders heading out to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Tua to try again on second down. Hit as he throws. He lost the football. It's loose. There he goes right side. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And now here come the Raiders.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
To throw on second down, Baker. Now they go screen. It's complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.